Hey buddy, watch this.
Hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Hearthstone is the game. And today I'm going to do a deck spotlight on a deck I'm calling the Reno Chaos Hunter. This is a deck that was created by a player named Kharan. Now that may not be a familiar name to you, but he's actually pretty well known for playing Control Hunter. He's been around for a while, and quite regularly reaches top 100 legend, playing almost exclusively Control Hunter as far as I know. And this is one of the latest takes on Control Hunter that he's put together. And since he's an authority on the deck archetype, we're going to try this deck out. So this is the Reno Chaos Hunter by Kharan, and it's a pretty crazy deck. Now, as you gathered from the name, it does in fact include Reno Jackson, which means every single card is unique in order to guarantee the Reno Jackson effect. Now that sounds kind of tough to do in Hunter just because they don't have a lot of consistent control cards, and this deck is all about controlling the board. It's not a face deck, it's not even a mid-range Hunter deck. This is a Hunter deck that you want to get into the late game and start to dominate after turn 10 or even 15, right? These are really long games. It's all about keeping your opponent in check and just winning with late game value minions like Ysera, or of course at least Starseeker, Reno, Dr. Boom, so on and so forth. So you're not worried about hitting the enemy face, you're worried about keeping the enemy board in check and keeping yourself alive. And there are a lot of different cards in this list that do that. Now, I'm not going to go through all 30 cards and discuss their relevance in a Control Hunter list, but I would like to point out a few of the more interesting or unique or important ones. So starting off, Sir Finley Murgleton is pretty interesting. Now, Hunters traditionally don't have a hero power that is considered a control style hero power. It's doing 2 damage to the enemy face, so that's usually more beneficial when you're trying to kill them quickly. And Sir Finley gives you some options to get rid of that somewhat bad hero power for this deck. So you might want something like the Mage hero power or the Warrior hero power. The Mage one to control the board, the Warrior one to buy yourself time. There are better options. The Warlock hero power can even be extremely good in this deck, just because you do have Reno to keep yourself alive if you're taking damage. And card draw is one thing that this deck and Hunter in general does have some trouble with. So life tap is fantastic, but really just Sir Finley gives you that flexibility. I don't even think the Hunter hero power is necessarily bad in control matchups, just because it does provide a sense of inevitability to your opponent. In other words, you're going to find a way to kill them eventually just because you're always hitting them for 2 damage. But that's not always the best in every matchup, like if you're playing another Reno deck or Freeze Mage or something. So Sir Finley does give you options to find a new and different answer. Explorer's Hat is pretty interesting. This isn't a card that sees play in a lot of Hunter decks. It's new with League of Explorers, but it just gives you value. It's just a long-term value card. It keeps coming back to your hand. You keep getting the buff. There's not a lot of card draw, as I mentioned previously, so this kind of refills your hand a little bit and gives you ways to spend your mana in a beneficial way. Worst case scenario, it susses out a silence from your opponent, and you have a lot of good stuff to silence, so that's not too bad if they waste it just on an Explorer's Hat. So I think that's a pretty interesting addition. When it comes to traps, you'll notice that only Explosive Trap is included. Now, you might think Freezing Trap sounds a bit more like a control card, because it's just so high tempo, it can get rid of a big threat. But you already have ways to get rid of big threats like Hunter's Mark or Deadly Shot. So Explosive Trap is really the opposite. It's about clearing a small board full of aggressive stuff, which can sometimes be difficult for this deck. So this is more to fight like aggro shamans or face hunters or zoo warlocks. It's not about controlling the big threat. So that's why you only see Explosive Trap in this list. Wild Pyromancer is not traditionally a card you see in Hunter because it's very poor synergy with Unleash the Hounds, because you'll just kill all your hounds if you have a Wild Pyromancer on board. But it's fantastic in this deck. It's so good with Hunter's Mark, because you can just cast Hunter's Mark and Wild Pyromancer will do the job for you. You don't even need the an activator or a minion to do that 1 damage. It's pretty cool with Acolyte of Pain as well. So there will be situations where you can cast a spell and draw cards with Acolyte of Pain, and card draw, of course, is very important. It kind of functions like a secondary Dreadscale, and I think it's almost undebatable that Dreadscale is a very solid card for killing stuff, and Wild Pyromancer's like Dreadscale 2.0, or maybe 1.0 in this case. Elise Starseeker's pretty interesting. Not a hunter card traditionally, but the fact that she can turn all your stuff into legendaries eventually is really fantastic when you have some lower quality cards like Web Spinner or Tracking or even Explorer's Hat in the late game that don't do a lot. She gives you a way to utilize those cards later on that you otherwise wouldn't have. And then when it comes to late game cards, it's really not too surprising. Of course, there's the Reno that just gives you so much time. But Ysera, I think, is pretty fantastic to see in a hunter list. This is another just late game trump card that gives you so much value and ways to end the game and drag it out that your opponent just can't deal with it. And by the time they deal with all these other threats and Ysera comes down in a hunter deck, they're going to be so surprised and they're going to be out of answers most likely that she will generally get tons and tons of value. So there you have it. That is the Reno Chaos Hunter. It's a pretty crazy deck and a lot of fun. So let me give you a second to grab a screenshot here if you'd like to. This is part 1 down to Piloted Shredder. So grab that screenshot, and then also you've got from Explosive Shot down to Ysera. So that's the list. Now let's go ahead and take this thing out onto the ranked ladder to see it in action, because that's really where we're going to learn how to play this deck and what makes it fun. So we're at rank 13 right now. Actually a little behind on laddering this month. So we're almost midway through the season. So rank 13 shouldn't be too difficult. So hopefully we'll still get to see this deck in action against some high quality decks and really good players. Because this deck is, again, capable of reaching top 100 Legend. It's where it finished last month. And I still think it is. The meta hasn't changed in a significant enough way that it won't be very, very good. Okay, so we're playing Druid. Baron Hidden is going to be pretty low value against Druid in general. Hunter's Mark might be good if they innervate a threat out early, but we don't necessarily have a way to activate that Hunter's Mark yet. Against Druid, we kind of want minions first just to give us board presence. But we'll keep the quick shot just in case he's running something like Darnassus Aspirant that we want to kill very fast. Animal Companion is great against Druid, particularly with the coin, because we can get it out on turn 2 as needed if we have another 3-drop. The curve on this deck definitely skews towards 2 and 3 drops. It's a little light on 4 drops, and then it gets bigger again as the late game goes on. So if we can skew towards a 3 with a coin, we might have double 3s. So this is a perfect answer on turn 1. Explosive Trap coin is probably not terrible, but we want more value than just these 2 guys. It's likely that one of these will still be alive no matter what, and maybe 2, even if he hero powers our Web Spinner. So playing this on curve next turn preserves the coin, still kills these, gets us the draw from Web Spinner, and puts us in a much better position than if we coin this out now. Yeah, so that's exactly what's going to happen. So we can still play this if we want. We have flexibility. That's why we didn't need it last turn. It's worth 2 damage to our face, but we would have taken 1 from the hero power anyway, so there was really no urgency. Okay, Emperor Cobra, that's interesting. That might be useful. So we could coin out the Animal Companion here, but that leaves us with a pretty awkward turn 3. We could Emperor Cobra, but then we also don't have a turn 4, so I want to save the coin. I'm just going to play the Explosive Trap to deal with these 2 guys. If he plays this out of order, he won't, because he knows it's Explosive Trap, but, you know, we could generate some value, perhaps. But really, we're just playing that because it's on curve, and I don't expect Explosive Trap to be good later. If it's an Egg Druid, which we don't really know yet, it's not now, but if it had been an Egg Druid, we want to get Explosive Trap out of the way before he starts playing eggs. So I think we'll just quick shot this down. He played a Tempo Mind Control tech, so he doesn't have any like innervate 5-drop shenanigans or anything we need to worry about. And we're in no hurry. We can coin the Azure Drake next turn. That's going to be pretty good. Oh, fantastic. So he has a weak turn for us. So we're looking pretty good now. The longer we have health and the longer he doesn't have a board, the better off we're going to be. So actually we're just going to play Elise on curve. She has just as good of a body as the Azure Drake. Like, she's going to trade fine into stuff. Like a Druid of the Claw won't kill her, and it would kill the Azure Drake. Plus, the sooner we get her out, the more likely we're going to get value on stuff like this coin or Emperor Cobra, turning it into legendaries, right? Yeah, so see, this would have traded pretty poorly here, but she's actually going to survive. We don't really have any good ways to deal with this thing, though. If I Animal Companion into a Huffer, we can kill it, but our board is kind of weak. We could coin out a 3-drop, I guess. We could just kill Command, trade Animal Companion. That's probably the best turn. We can still... but we could coin out Boom next turn and we save the coin. I don't think that's necessary. He's running techie cards like Mind Control Tech, so he's probably also running at least one Big Game Hunter. And his hand is pretty awkward, so the likelihood of that Big Game Hunter being there is even higher. So let's Animal Companion first and see what we get. Yeah, alright. So I'm actually still gonna trade Elise in.
Get back.
This is swipeable, of course. We could have traded this in and this wasn't swipeable, but we're going to put him on the swipe in a bad turn 6, so he can't play Thorson or something if he wants to swipe. So we can Azure Drake too, and that's going to be safe to swipe. So, alright. Wish I had a way to do 1 damage right now that I don't. We're probably just going to trade both these in and play our own Thorson. Thorson can be tough for a Druid to remove on an empty board, because they have like swipe hero power. So they're taking 5 damage using a full turn. Got Boom to follow up, so we've got a decent hand. We have refill with the Azure Drake and the Acolyte too. We're still at 27 health too, which is fantastic, of course, against the Druid. We might make this trade if nothing else comes up. Just I'd kind of like to draw cards to see what we get, but I guess trading and playing Dr. Boom is really just superior. Getting this out sooner rather than later to make it less likely he has an answer. I don't see a downside here. We don't really need a minion, so King's Elec won't help. Azure Drake certainly could, but why worry? And you might wonder why I'd trade a really high value minion like Emperor Thorson into a seemingly lower value minion like Ancient of Lore. It's just because leaving stuff on board with Druid is dangerous because they're going to hit you, and you're setting up better combo turns. So this is like a more rampy Druid, it looks like. They may not even be running combo. That is pretty intriguing. So I'd like to draw with Azure Drake first because we don't really have a way to kill any of this stuff cleanly. That sort of helps, but not really, because we actually need to get through these taunts right now. So I guess we'll just start trading and seeing where these things land. I'd like to kill this so I can attack this, but that didn't work out that way. So now he's going to get a pretty free trade on my Boom. But that's okay, we'll just play the Paladin Shredder and load the board and force him to do stuff. I still think we're in a good spot. We need cards, but so does... He needs damage, probably. I'm a little worried we're going to see something like... I was going to say a Kel'Thuzad, because this is a really late game ramp Druid. He might actually be able to go toe-to-toe to us in the late game. But if we get our Elise soon, we're able to get a good Emperor Cobra off, we should be okay. 4 damage Wrath. That was a tough turn for us, man. Didn't make that trade, so we could get a... Explosive shot. He actually played around it a little bit, but not really. It works out fine. So this is a pretty good play. I think we have to do this. We'll make this trade first, just to make sure we don't get like a Doomsayer or something that takes care of it anyway. That's totally fine. We'll do this. And now I actually have a little bit of a decision. I think I'm going to play both of these, but first we're going to play the King's Relic to see what we get. Okay, so he's running Sylvanas too. Yeah, this is definitely a scary late game druid deal. I guess I'm actually going to play the Acolyte instead of the Emperor Cobra. I take that back. These two go together, so I'm going to play the Emperor Cobra to deal with some Ancient War or something. Because these two can go together and draw me a card. If I send this out now, it might get silenced or get less guaranteed value. And we're down to 2 cards already, so I think we need some guaranteed value. I did not expect to see that, but it's good I didn't play this. It would have died with 1 card draw.
I must safeguard the land.
Okay, so that's alright. We have stuff to silence, so it's not actually too bad. Man, we just don't have a good turn, though. We just don't really have a way to kill anything. It's a very awkward turn. I guess I play these together in Hero Power. I might even throw the Thalnos out just for more card draw. I know it's going to get killed instantly by my Dread Scale, but I need cards. And this is a pretty low value card on average. Could also wait, just not play anything. But I think that's a losing play with the Druid. It's got 7 damage. We'd be dead to combo probably. Yeah, well, yeah, we'd be dead to combo for sure. So we've already used some spells that this is going to benefit from, so I'm just going to play it all. And there's no good trade here, so I'm going face. We've already used Kill Command and Quick Shot, so I think that the card draw from this is more valuable than anything else. Oh, these 2 cards, man. I mean, they're good, but it's not high power stuff. No Ysera, for instance. We're probably just still dead, right? Yeah. Combo. Yeah, it's Druid stuff. Yes, I don't think we had an out there. We just happened to play a really weird Druid that snuck in some late game stuff along with this combo, so that was a pretty tough one. But the day is not over. We have more chances. You can see the card draw issue was already prevalent, even in that game. Like, we were out of cards. Just because it's so reliant on 2 and 3 drops. I don't know if it requires you to play a little more patiently, but against a Druid you don't have all day, so that might just be a tough matchup with this deck. Jewel Scarab's pretty good. Explosive Shot is way too slow. Acolyte, depending on what kind of mage this is, could be good. I guess we'll keep it just because it's a low drop. Dread Scales might be good. We'll see. This deck against Freeze Mage is a little bit tougher, I think, than average. And if you get the Reno, you're probably okay against Freeze Mage, but otherwise you don't have much recovery or damage, so you're probably put in a pretty tough spot. We could coin out the Jeweled Scarab, but that gives us a 3-drop, which would still leave us empty on turn 2 since we have 3 3s. So we'll just wait and play it on curve, or maybe coin out a 3-drop to respond to his board. Looks like Freeze Mage, Tempo Mage would have had a play by now. Yeah, we'll just play on curve here. Ooh, a Kestik Master. These are just so bad. It's a body. Could deal with like a Doomsayer or something. Could deal with an Antonidas. A lot of ways this works and these don't, so. This is a beast, which is worth considering, I guess, but it's just too bad. I don't think the taunt will matter. And we have other beasts, so. We'll see if this is Ice Barrier right away. Actually, we're going to do this first just in case it's Leok. We could play the Acolyte, but I want to put some pressure out. Yeah, so it was Leok, so that was the right play. That's the Ice block already. We don't have Flare in this deck, so we do have to worry about these secrets. His hand must be all damaged at this point. Oh, flame cannon. That's a little unusual, right? For freeze mage. I haven't played in a couple days, but here we don't really have good plays. We could coin out the Belcher, but it seems like there's a very slight chance this is still Tempo Mage with a very awkward hand, so that it could be Mirror Entity, so I want to play it safe. Yeah. Wild. Yeah, so we'll just leave that. That's fine. I guess this is Tempo Mage. Just really slow start. Maybe he's setting up for a really big Flame Waker turn. But I think that's good for us, though, that he's had a slow start and he's not Freeze Mage. In general, I think I'm pretty happy with that. We could do the Belcher, but there's really not much pressure. I think I'm just going to Azure Drake. Sure, it dies a little easier to stuff, but we can coin out the Boom next turn, so I think we have options. This will be good, too. We have 9 cards in hand, so we don't need to spend a card. I'm really scared what's in his hand. It just took him so long to do anything. He's going to Fireball this. That's just fine. We could actually Dreadscale Explosive Trap to kill his board. But that gives him another card. He just used Fireball, so I think Coin Boom is still the best play, even with Thaurissan in hand. Because we can Thaurissan Sir Finley next turn for still a very good turn, but let's up the pressure first and then generate value later. Just in case he doesn't have an answer for this. Because he might have traded his board in. That's probably a second Fireball. Just because his hand was so awkward at the beginning. That's okay, half of his burst is gone, so I don't think he's going to, like, rush us down. Which means we probably have time for Reno and some of these value cards to really take action. Tracking is good in this deck, by the way, specifically because sometimes you can get Reno out of it. Okay, well that wasn't too bad. I would love to kill this. He didn't attack first. He made a very aggressive move. Wow. That kind of paid off too. So we can just trade here. It's gonna get the card drawn no matter what. Hope this dies. If not, we don't really have a good way to deal with it. Tinkmaster could make it worse. If it goes, even if it takes like 1 damage, yeah, called that. We can still Explosive Trap Belcher, or no, Explosive Trap Elise, I guess, is probably the play.
Do you have the artifact?
I guess I'll go ahead and Sir Finley this turn as well, just to slot in the mana and give me a body. It could give him value on a trade, though. But he's going to get that value anyway here, so... This is actually a pretty tough choice. He's used 2 Fireballs, so I don't think this is right. I think Reinforce just for the value is good, but it's kind of bad against Flame Wakers. Actually, just going to take Shapeshift because it's the most flexible. It gives us a little bit of defense if we need it, and offense for pings as needed. So he made the wrong choice there. He should have traded. That was lucky for us. Because we didn't really have a good way to prevent this awkward trade. Oh goodness, this... So he only has 1 spell. Yeah. Okay. We probably need a tracking for an answer here, like a Hunter's Mark. This can't live. I don't have a way to kill it as it stands. This is not an answer, but it definitely gets the job done. It's the best thing we have. So I'm going to Glaive Zuka and Lotheb. If it hits here, that would be nice. Yeah, cool. Going face here because I don't want to sack this for nothing. I don't think he's going to be able to do much with that. He might be able to cast like one spell. Maybe not even that, depending on what he had. Probably just one. But he does have 5 face damage as well, so... Oh, he's not going to cast any spells now. He just wasted his Antonitis, so he has to make a trade here. No, he doesn't have to make a trade here. He's going for it. This is pretty good, right? We can go here. Go here. Boom. 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 We could also use the dread scale to clean up if we wanted. So like go here, this will die to dread scale. Let's do this first just to see what we get out of this. But dread scale will also kill this. Yeah, but I think we're okay with that actually. Yeah, we'll just do this in dread scale. We still have to trade here, but that's okay. I don't guess I go face just because I have the Druid Hero power. I can maybe do 3 damage to something, which is pretty valuable. Even though we're low. I'd like to see our Reno soon. Sooner rather than later, certainly. So that's his last fireball. Please live, please live, please live. No! It's really tough. Ugh, that's probably counterspell. I don't think I can risk it being Mirror Entity, but I'm going to play the Tink Master first just in case we squirrel this. But if we turn it into a 5/5, do I have a way to deal with it? I guess I can Belcher if it goes into a 5/5. If it goes into a squirrel, I might just Baron Geddon. Or kill it with my weapon. And Emperor? Yeah, I think I have to take this 50-50 though. Yeah, that's it. I think I'll just weapon and Emperor. I don't think we're dead because... Let's see if this is an effigy. No. Okay. These are all fine, but we can weave in a hero power with Ysera next turn too, thanks to Emperor, so that would be pretty cool. We can even play these together now. There's advantages to doing this one first. Huh. That came off Ethereal Conjurer. Life's hard. Life's really, really hard. We didn't play around the Pyroblast boys. So I guess we could have hero powered instead of playing Thaurissan. That would have kept us alive, but certainly been the wrong play, I think, still. We didn't play around Pyroblast. Alright, we're going to play one more game and hopefully get a win with this deck, but so far we haven't been very successful. We haven't seen Reno yet either, though, and he's a pretty core component to the deck, so perhaps that's not too surprising. Alright, Priest, that's another tough matchup. King's Elk's great. Deadly Shot we probably don't need just yet, neither do we need Kill Command just yet. We want more proactive stuff. This is a little bit more reactive, so we want initiative instead of reaction like that early. No, these are worse though. These are worse. Elise is pretty fantastic. We don't need a tracking yet on turn 1, of course. We don't even know what we want, so there's no reason to use this just for card draw. We'll go ahead and King's Elk. Of all the drops in our deck, we get the 1 drop for the Joust. Great. This is the lucky day for us, folks.
Welcome to the exhibit.
Yeah, we'll just trade here. Really like to see a 3-drop. We have so many 3s. I got my wish, but that one's actually terrible because it kills our Elec. So we'll just hero power. We can afford to take it a little slow. At least next turn's great. This is a neat combo. We have some stuff to do. Is he gonna try to kill this really hard? Yeah. Dread Scale might... yeah, of course. This is a good combo too. We'll just play Elise. That's not too scary to deal with yet. This is a pretty cool combo that'll work against most things. Sludge Belcher on 5 is great. We have turns. That might actually be worth dread scaling, to be honest with you. The problem, of course, is that this stuff lives, and we can't trade. We can't attack with Elise because this happens at the end of the turn. But if we got like a Ysera off of this, he can't entomb yet. That would just be insane. We'd probably get Sir Finley just because that's our luck. Alternatively, I could just Hunter's Mark trade and save the Dread Scale and play Sludge Belcher. Maybe that's even better. This is something we have to kill, and it gives us value, so... Most priests aren't running huge threats. They're running, like, entombs and stuff, so... Maybe using the Hunter's Mark now is worth it. Let's do it. Why not? Let's see what we get.
Quickly. My
I think I called that. I think I said, we'll probably get Sir Finley. We got, you know, Dr. Boom, Ysera, all these big cards. I'd even take an Azure Drake. But no, we get Sir Finley. Super awesome Sir Finley. I don't know what he's planning here. Is he going to draw a lot of cards? Circle of Healing or something? He's going to overdraw. He does that. He still will overdraw. He may not have thought that through all the way.
Do you like to play with fire?
Oh my goodness. I think he's perhaps still going to overdraw? Maybe not. On the next turn he might. I didn't count, but... I don't feel like that was an exceptionally good turn. In fact, I think that was a pretty bad turn. Still not a great turn for us either. I think we just trade and go face and hero power and bide time. I'm kind of tempted to tracking, but I don't think we will. So he's sitting on 10 cards. That's very scary. Both Pyros are gone. One Death Lord's gone. It's gonna be a circle again. It's gonna ping here. We can actually just Dread Scale to clean that up, and we might. Oh no, Baron Geddon's better, just because it's on curve. Yeah, Baron Geddon is just better on curve. He's down to 18, which is actually getting kind of low if this were to attack, because we actually have quite a bit of damage in hand compared to normal, but man, a free deadly shot. That's so good for him. He didn't get the Sir Finley or the junk stuff. He got a deadly shot. Man, again, just not a good turn. I think we just have to Eaglehorn this down. You might be asking why I wasted an Eaglehorn charge on that. Just because of stuff like Velen's Chosen. You don't want to leave a minion out against Priest if you don't have to, because that could turn into a really scary, like, 3-6 all of a sudden. Which we don't want to waste a deadly shot on. So we can just preemptively deal with it. Usually that's a little bit more sound. Okay, so deadly shot's probably not too bad here. Yeah, he didn't get the web spinner. He got the deadly shot. In some cases, what comes out of this might be scarier than what it is now. But we have kill command if necessary. Oh, that's a fantastic one. That's great for us. It's the first good thing that's happened all day. Just keep hero powering and looking for our Elise. We're looking for Ysera. But Ysera's just going to get entombed. So, she's probably not even that good. Man, he got Dr. Boom from Thoughtsteal. Look at that. This is not our day, folks. This is not our day. I can actually kill it. I guess I will. I'll go face here first, then we'll power shot. Hopefully this gives us something we can play, actually. Well, it did, but it's not that good. So we're, again, out of resources. He has a ton of resources. We haven't really done a lot of damage, either.
Let me change your mind.
We happen to get a 2-drop that he could steal with the Cabal Shadow Priest. So that worked out great, too. Getting a little salty about this particular... Emperor dies to the board. I could use tracking, but I really don't know that I'm going to find anything I want to use. If anything, I might get a cost reduction on Emperor. Explosive Shot's only good with Azure Drake, so we got like 2 of our spell power cards with our spell power card. I'm still going to take this, but I'm just going to play Emperor and Hero Power. This dies way too easily to this. This dies at least a little more awkwardly, and we get some guaranteed value out of it, so... Thorson's superior to Azure Drake here, for sure. Alright, so if he uses 2 of those, actually, and we get some Ysera turns off, we could theoretically win this game still, but it's very unlikely. We'll draw here. This is still bad, but now we don't have a choice. Reno's not too bad. We could also Dreadscale Acolyte just for value. He's used Circles, but he hasn't used Holy Nova, so Holy Nova would wreck that relatively hard. He has 6 damage. He's used 1 Auchenai, so I don't think we're dead to anything. Auchenai Flash Heal, Hero Power is 7, 11, 13. Double Flash Heal would definitely kill us. I'm going to play Reno here just for the body, because these are all a little bit more responsive. And still, this game is disastrous, to say the least. We're losing very hard. Okay, so Ysera off the top here would actually put us in the game. Lothar doesn't put us in the game, but he's the start. We're still saving this stuff to use together. I need a spell to do these things together. The Wild Pyro and the Acolyte together. This, I don't really know how we're going to get value out of this, but we're going to try sometime. Alright, so that's actually not bad. He's got a weak turn. That's kind of annoying, but he has a Reno anyway, so I don't think we're trying to rush him down. 3 cards that all do the exact same thing. I mean, that draw cards or do AoE, small AoE damage. I think I have to play these together now, just to do something. I think this is probably going to get Cabal Shadow Priested again, but that's okay. It's the first time we've seen that card. Yep, there's that. We might actually even be able to exploit that a little bit. We're both getting pretty low on cards. These are good together, finally. We can actually get quick shot value here, can't we? So, okay. We're going to play these together. We're going to Explorer's Hat the Pyromancer. And then we're going to... Quick shot does 4, right? So if I quick shot this guy, it's going to go to 2, and I can glaive Zuka to kill it, but this still lives. Yeah, I think I still have to quick shot this. Oh, but it doesn't do 4, but that doesn't matter because it still went to 2 because this died. The spell power was gone. So I basically need Ysera. Yeah, there she is. He doesn't have Entomb. We get the free Ysera. That's okay. Minions are actually decent here. If he doesn't have a way to kill Ysera, we're in this game. We're actually back in this game. I'm kind of excited now. I'm kind of excited now. You can do 8. Does he have a flash shield too? That's gonna burn me silly. This lives at least if he does that. Double flash shield? No? No? No, he doesn't have it. We're alive. We're alive. Oh, Dr. Boom too, huh? And Laughing Sister. I kind of want to Explorer's Hat, but we can't because it dies to Shadow of Death. Just gonna play the board. He's used both circles, so I don't think this is generating a lot of value. It's doing 4 per, of course, but oh man, I really want the other guy, the big guy. We might just be able to like rush him down at this point. Just kind of like, what is this? Oh, light bomb. I forgot about light bombs. Man, that's tough. We don't care about the heals again. That's fine. He's running out of oh, we only have 3 cards left. The odds of actually drawing this are pretty high. I forgot about Golden Monkey too. It's not too bad. Shattered Sun makes out a 2/2. It's not particularly exciting. Raging Worgen probably has ways to live. I guess it's the best. Okay, so we have the Golden Monkey in here, but we don't really have anything to use it on. There's no cards left. He still has cards in hand, but it's... What does he have from us? He has a Reno. He has a Thorison. I hope he tries to draw here. That's good for us. We might start winning the fatigue battle. And he gave us a card to use. Which lowers our fatigue, but man, that's unplayable at this point.
I'm out of cards.
So he has Reno Thorison, but we have a Golden Monkey in here. So this will be good for Golden Monkey if we can live that long. Man. It's gonna be the last card in the deck, which is just so bad. Obviously, I could have Explorer's Hat traded. It maybe is worth it, but I don't know. He can't kill this, I don't think. Maybe a second Holy Nova? Maybe I should have done that. Shrinkmeister too, but Activated Evil actually kills both of those unless he heals it. Healed face.
Almost out of cards.
Piloted Shredder. I guess I Excavated Evil Piloted Shredder? Yeah, otherwise I'm just dead, right? 8, 11, very close to it anyway. It sucks that it denies some fatigue, but at least this trade's even. He can Excavated Evil again, but the Gold Monkey's literally the last card in our deck. How unlucky is that? I mean, we're going to get it off the Explorer's Hat, but it's going to have to be like the best legendary ever. I don't think we can win. I can actually use this first, get it back, and still Gold Monkey it. So, oh, it doesn't die. Oh, I messed up. Oh, I messed up. It gets some extra health. It doesn't die. Oh, I messed up. Oh shoot. 5, 8. We take 1 from fatigue. That's 9. Does he have 2 damage? He might have the Holy Nova. Oh, I messed up. I gotta decide if the legendary is worth more than the chance of being dead. I guess I have to play to live. Pretty sure he has a second Holy Nova. Oh, we messed up. I'm trying to think if there's any legendary that would have saved me anyway. Perhaps there's some. Probably not with cards like that. The owl does not help us at all.
The light shall burn.
I think we're dead. I think we're dead. Man, the Golden Monkey, the last card in the deck. That is so disastrously unlucky. I mean, we misplayed too. What my plan was, of course, was to use the hat, sacrifice the Belcher, in other words, killing it, to get the hat back, and then Monkey again to turn that hat into a legendary. But of course, I accidentally gave the Belcher an extra health, so it didn't die. Or it gave the Shredder an extra health, so it didn't die trading into the Belcher. So we didn't get the hat back. Now, likely, any legendary we got, we only could have played it if it was 4 or less mana. So we probably would have been dead regardless, because anything like a Holy Nova would have killed us. Plus, it looks like we got an owl off the Shredder, so that wasn't exactly high-value owl. So it likely didn't matter, but it would have been fun to see at the very least. But the real tragedy is that the Golden Monkey came at the very bottom of our deck, and that we played a control piece in the first place. So, there you have it. That is the very unsuccessful thus far Reno Chaos Hunter. I'm sad that we didn't get to see the deck succeed, but we did get to see it all the way through, which is pretty fun. So you can see how it goes toe-to-toe, even with something like a Control Priest. With a little bit more luck on our side, not getting the Sir Finley off the Death Lord and stuff like that throughout all 3 games, I think you would have seen the deck win. It's still a good deck. Don't let my 3 losses get you down. I still encourage you to try this thing out. It's tons of fun, and just the factor of surprise with a Hunter deck like this one will usually win you games. So it's fantastic climbing the ladder when it's played by someone who's better than me, like maybe you. It's really, really good. So thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions about the deck or the list, just let me know. Happy to answer them in the comments. If you like this kind of content, please do subscribe. It's always appreciated. Appreciate your time as well. And until next time, game on.